CC, welcome back to the session with Jess and Ryan. Jess, fantastic to have you back as in the studio and on the session.
I'm excited about today's episode, Ryan.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, I didn't think we talked about this until we hit record. Oh, anyway, we usually practice a couple times because we like to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I came across this interesting article that said ways that your phone affects your body and mind, which led me to question, are phones an important part of our daily life, or are they an unnecessary addiction?
I think without looking at any data or anything, that gap is slowly closing. We're not gonna be able to tell.
The gap is closing?
I think
so.
What
about sweaters? What about shirts?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the gap between not the store.
Not the store. Get back in the pond, silly goose.
I'm sorry.
You got too excited?
I did. I like the idea. I go to the Gap just to look at a sweater. Like, you pick it up. Oh, that's nice. And then I like to fold it again, see if I can get it like what they do. It's kind of like a challenge.
A challenge.
Yeah. They don't find it amusing, but I do. So anyway, back to our topic about cell phones and your body and mind. So I won't get into the article full on, but it was a very interesting article. So I will say this article leans towards having a little bit of a detachment between you and your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Agree or disagree? Right off the bat.
I agree.
Our listeners say you're probably right.
Yeah.
So one of the things that it did say, of course, is cell phones make a big difference when it comes to saving lives, because 911, all those things. You are right there with the emergency. But we're not here to talk about that.
What are we here to talk about?
We're here to talk about the negative impact of a cell phone.
A cell phone.
I have a hidden agenda that I just made public. Like going to the Gap. Anyway, you shouldn't have brought up the Gap. It's one of my favorite stores.
Okay.
Although, just dear listener, I don't want a gift certificate to the Gap.
Get him a gift certificate.
Oh, thank you. Reverse technology.
Reverse technology. Reverse psychology.
Reverse psychology. So let's say you are one of the people, how can I say this? You look at your phone before you go to bed. Like, the last thing you do is check your phone for some reason.
Yes.
According to this, that definitely impacts your sleep and sets you up for a bad night of sleep.
Oh, I know it does. I'll say that, I'm going to go to bed by a certain time, and then I'll look at the clock, and it'll be like an hour and a half later. Yes. And I'll still be watching YouTube or something. Oops.
Addicted! When you are awake, so we're going to move on now.
I've woken up.
You've slept. Now it's time to wake up.
Yes.
When you are awake, a single buzz signaling a notification on your phone can weaken your ability to focus on any task.
I'd believe that.
Even if you don't think it does. How many times have you been in a conversation with someone and they're like,
Or they forget about what they're talking about temporarily? Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. When it comes to manners.
Yes.
One of the things that drives me crazy is when I'm with someone and I'm having a good discussion with them and they stop the discussion with me to see what someone or the notification was, whatever. And I have to sit there in silence as they stare at the top of their head because they're staring at their phone with their eyes down until they're done. I find that highly rude.
I don't do that to people. I personally don't like when it happens to me. I mean, I just think that's like common courtesy.
Your phone just went.
No, it's on silent. I put it on silent.
To me, I find that very rude. I tried my darndest not to do it to anybody else because I'm like, we were having a conversation. I mean,
if it's an emergency, I know most phones now you can set favorite contacts. You can put your phone on Do Not Disturb, and those will come through if someone for some reason needs to call you. But even then, if it's important, just leave a voicemail. I'll get back to you whenever I get back to you.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yes.
Let's say you get 600,000 notifications and texts a day. How many of those are an emergency in a 24-hour period? An emergency.
None of them.
Like my leg fell off.
None of them.
None of them. Americans now spend more than 5 hours a day on their phone.
That's scary to think about. I mean, unfortunately, I can see it.
So do you have an idea how much time you spend on your phone?
I don't have an idea, but I can look it up.
Why don't you look it up? I'll give him another factoid. Jess is going to look up her average time for the last 24 hours, right? Before we go crazy, would you say the last 24 hours was an average day for you? On your phone?
Probably.
Okay. So you go ahead and look. Most cell phones, and I'm sure COVID has brought this to the attention of many people now, but most cell phones are crawling with germs.
Oh, yeah.
Do you clean your phone?
I do. I use like screen wipes and stuff like that, especially when there's a lot of gunk on it.
I use my shirt. Just rub it on my shirt.
Oh, there's germs on your shirt too.
It's the shirt germs and the phone germs. When they meet, they fight.
Do they cancel each other out?
They cancel each other out.
Oh, I didn't know that's how.
That's a little known fact.
I'll have to try that next
You should.
time.
It's a little known fact.
Yeah.
So, have you been able to discover how much time you spend on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, here's the drum roll.
I'm gonna make you guess actually.
Okay.
I think screen on time is how much I actually spent while my phone was unlocked.
I think screen on time is when your phone is on.
Yes.
So that would be, assuming, unless you had a movie playing in the background while you were cleaning your room or something.
Or music or something like that.
Did that happen?
I do listen to music in the background when I'm doing homework.
So I will calculate that into my guess. I'm going to say you have spent a roughly 4.5 hours of screen on time.
Oh, no, it's more than that.
What?
Yeah.
It says here the average American is 5 hours.
Yeah, well, I am a
7.5.
No, it's not that much.
Well, just tell us now. We're getting tired.
6 hours and 28 minutes.
6 hours and 28 minutes.
Yes.
So you are not an average American. Good for you.
I'm above average, but I don't know if that's necessarily good in this case.
You're above average. So just a fun fact for you. 85,000 people, according to this, searched for the term texting thumb as an injury.
Really?
Yes.
What is texting thumb, Ryan?
Don't ask me follow-up questions or things I don't know. It doesn't say. Just a couple more real quick. Snapping a picture on your phone can help reduce your memory.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yep.
I know a lot of people that I've talked to, my friends, don't know as many phone numbers or addresses.
Do you know your own phone number?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, some people don't.
Yeah.
It's on their phone. Yeah, that is one thing that I will say has gone away from the horse and buggy days of when I was a kid. When we actually had a metal hoop and we ran through the town.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I did for fun. When I was, a kid growing up, I probably had anywhere from 10 to 15 phone numbers memorized. I mean, it was just that's who you needed to call. Now you don't have to worry about it. Now you just swipe with your texting thumb injury on your germ-ridden device to find something that you have forgotten.
I still try and memorize at least I have important phone numbers memorized and stuff, because what if I don't have my phone, or what if it dies and I need to call somebody?
Do you have your mom's cell phone memorized?
Yes.
Oh, that's impressive. I see. I do not. We all know that walking around, texting with your face down and something is dangerous. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would assume you would agree with that. Have you ever walked into anything?
I have avoided walking into things.
The biggest thing, according to this, one of the biggest risks of people who walk and text is that it is shown that they look left and right less often. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward. So when you're walking around town and you don't look left or right, hello.
Yeah.
You have a problem. So it'd be the easiest thing to do would be to put your phone down every once in a while. For you it'd be once every other hour.
Yeah, apparently. Jeez.
But there is a real disease. I think you were telling about this earlier, about phone separation.
Yeah, nomophobia, like no more mobile phones.
Nomophobia.
Nomophobia.
Nophobia?
You're close. We're getting there. We'll work on it.
She's laughing at me. You just can't see it. So it is true. I mean, phones are a part. So we will let you be the judge as I make an ungodly noise. You be the judge. Are phones an important part of everyday life, or an extracurricular activity that you become addicted to?
Or both.
Ba, ba, ba. So anyway, you decide. Next show, if everything goes according to schedule, is going to be about where you get your news.
Yes, and we will see how much phones play a role in that.
Exactly. Not to give too much away, but there you go. So this has been the session with Jess.
Thanks, Ryan.
You're welcome. And this has been the session with Ryan. Thanks, Ryan. You're welcome. See ya.
Bye.